Welcome to Friday's Financial Fitness. Today we're concluding our series on the coronavirus and the economy, and we'll be finishing up this series by talking about what the government has done, either directly or through one of their agencies, to help stimulate the overall economy during these difficult times. Let's first talk about what tools the Federal Reserve has used at the beginning of this overall coronavirus pandemic. On March 3rd, the Federal Reserve cut the Fed funds rates to zero in an effort to encourage banks to borrow money to stimulate the overall borrowing in the credit markets. 2 weeks later, the Federal Reserve indicated that it would restart its securities purchase program, or better known as quantitative easing, that they used in the Great Recession, and indicated it would buy at least $500 billion in Treasury securities and $200 billion in government-guaranteed mortgage backs over the coming months. But on March 23rd, it made the purchases open-ended. Then, in a surprise move on March 23rd, the Fed announced new facilities to support highly rated corporations. With the primary market, this would allow the Federal Reserve to lend money directly to corporations by buying new bonds and providing funds to these corporations in the form of a loan. The Fed would purchase existing corporate bonds as well as exchange-traded funds. The Federal Reserve indicated that this new facility will allow companies access to credit so they are better able to maintain business operations during this period of disruption to their businesses. Then on April 9th, the Federal Reserve had announced the Main Street Lending Program, working with large businesses with up to 15,000 employees and $5 billion in annual revenue. The Federal Reserve announced on April 9th that it would be lending directly to state and local governments through its Municipal Liquidity Facility. As you can see, the Federal Reserve has been very busy during this coronavirus pandemic. At the government level, Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Securities Act, or better known as the CARES Act, was passed by Congress on March 27th. The CARES Act was over a $2 trillion economic relief package. This is one of the fastest assistance programs on record. This act gave immediate cash for individual citizens, and it also given loans for small businesses and support for hospitals and medical providers. In general, it was a very broad program that impacted almost everyone, including my 90-year-old mother who received a check for $1,200. In conclusion, the Federal Reserve and the government have both indicated they will continue to look for ways to support people and businesses during this crisis, with the ultimate goal of getting the economy up and running as soon as possible. I hope you've enjoyed this series, as we are all anxious to get back to work on what we might call the new normal. As we reopen the U.S. economy, it will be a gradual process, and temporary setbacks may be possible. Some of the losses in jobs may not return. The possibility of disruption as the great reopening unfolds is real. We are facing tremendous challenge, but it is being met with invincible resilience. I believe together we can get through this crisis and return to better times. Thank you for watching the 4-part series on coronavirus and the economy.